from Sandpaper Road in the USA, and I'm here to share with you a notebook cover that I created for the craft.o.clock design team using the Wild Garden paper collection. This turned out so pretty. I added a ribbon there on the side, and this is just a basic notebook that you can use, a journal or a diary or a planner. We're using the Wild Garden paper collection, the 20 and 3 centimeters squared or 8 by 8 inches. The Flowers 8, which is Wild Garden. Look at those beautiful flowers. Now you do fussy cut them out with scissors. I used the decorative cards. I think I only used a few, but you could use the rest for other projects. And we're using the Catch a Moment Quotes 3, which, because this company is in Poland, you have Polish quotes on one side and English quotes on the other. The notebook we're covering is an A5 size notebook. And just whatever kind of notebook you have there to cover is fine. Look at the beautiful papers. Now I'm going to make a mark on the back of the paper, but then also measure it, just to make sure. And when I checked the measurement, it was perfect. It did come up to be an A5 perfectly. Now you have to be mindful of the design of the paper. There is text and script written on the paper, and you don't want the writing to go the wrong way. So pay attention carefully when you're choosing your cover pattern. Distressing the edge of the paper just a little bit to give it a little interest. Now this is just a regular piece of sandpaper, and I'm going to lightly sand the surface of the notebook. This will help the cover paper adhere better. Now, if I'm going to add ribbon to my notebook, whatever ribbon you have is fine. Choose a ribbon color from the color palette that's there. It might be green, it might be dark green. Whatever ribbon you have there is fine, but best to choose one from the color palette. We're going to need to add the ribbon before we add the cover paper. Really having some problems with my wet glue. It seems like every bottle of wet glue that I had ran out at the same time. To open up your notebook all the way if you can and work with it as a flat surface. color that isn't included in the flowers or the papers very often. So this light blue is perfect. I hold two pieces together at the same time in my hand and pull towards me to tear a piece. Then I turn it around and tear the other side. That gives you a nice white torn edge. I'm just providing some contrast because the flowers are mainly green and orange with a little bit of blue, and I need to bring out that blue a little bit more somehow. I'm using my fingernail just to mark where the edge of my paper is. That way I don't have to keep measuring and measuring. And now I can just cut where my fingernail mark is. Now I'm looking to add different decorative cards to the front and back of the notebook. I really liked that butterfly. Distressed around the edges of both of those decorative cards and tucked the ribbon underneath the notebook so it was out of my way. After I glue down the decorative card, I pry up the edge of the glued down card just a little bit. It won't come off, but it does look really cool. I chose for the back wasn't as busy of a pattern as the main cover piece. But I really like that butterfly and wanted to try to fit it into the composition somehow. I love how hashtag art is the same in English and in Polish. And I distressed the edges around each one of the quotes I wanted to use. I glued down all of my quotes. I think it's important to choose an odd number of quotes. I chose 7. You could choose 3 or 5 or some odd number. Usually using odd numbers is pleasing to the eye. Was thinking about that butterfly, and so I decided to just fussy cut it out of the decorative card and put it onto the back. I have a stylus that I'm going to use, but you could use the back of a pencil if you don't have a stylus. And I have a piece of foam. This will give the flowers a little bit of dimension just by pushing gently onto the paper. Or you could use the back of a pencil to do the same thing. I like to do this because it helps add dimension, but you really need to use the foam. You can't do it the same way on a table or a piece of cardboard. It really has to be on a piece of foam for it to work. Spend time playing with the color and the look and the feel of the composition. And when you're ready, you can just use your glue gun to stick down your flowers. I use an acrylic block to lay on top of something that I've just glued down. It helps hold down the item while it dries. If your composition looks like it needs something, don't be afraid to cut one of the flowers in half. And then it looks like it's going off the page. Because in a real garden, flowers don't just stop at an edge, they continue on. where I cut a flower. Just use your thumbnail or your fingernail to mark where to cut. And then I put the other half of that flower down below. This is so fun to just play with the paper flowers and the composition until it looks exactly the way you want it. Now this is optional, but if you like paint spatter, you could use some black and white paint. Cover up the composition that you've completed already with some scrap paper. And just tap on your brush to add the spatter. Or you can slide it off of an acrylic block, just sliding the paint off of the block with your brush. Look at the finished notebook. It's beautiful. I love the way it turned out. I love the butterfly on the back. And I like that it's relatively flat, and that way if you're storing it on a shelf or putting it in your purse, then it doesn't get all torn up. So thank you so much for watching. You can find all these products at the Craft.o.clock shop with the links below. And if you're in the USA, check out Sandpaper Road for Craft.o.clock products as well. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next tutorial.